Good morning, welcome to the Yosemite's Pan Show. Today we're high up in the mountains and I've got some pros and cons to talk about. So, pros of working higher up in the mountains is it's closer to the source. The closer to your source, the bigger the gold. So obviously that's a pro. But the con is there's no bloody flowing water. Now, this particular area, which is going to stay unnamed, was subject to 50-something mils over last weekend. Now, that last weekend was what, 7 days ago? So you would expect there to be a little bit of flow if it had a lot of catchment. The issue is this doesn't have a lot of catchment. So we're down to a trickle. Although we got some flow, we could probably get a little 4-inch to flow, but we just cannot get a 6 or a 10 to flow properly, not without an extended flare. So unfortunately, we have to resort to more primitive methods. Cue rocker box. Now, I've featured rocker boxes on my channel before. My friends all have them. I've got one. They're a great little tool. They're around about 85% effective at catching the gold, and they work as good, if not better, than a high banker in moving quantities of material. Now, the good thing about this spot here is because it's so high up in the mountains, you can move this bulk material and find nice, coarse, chunky bits of gold. So thankfully, I did come prepared today, and I brought the rocker box. So I'm going to pull out the rocker box and go to where I was pulling out some half decent color last time. Well, it was half decent color in the top pans. It could probably get better further down. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it. Got to get that glitter. I got me my campfire for the night, nice and set up. Gonna get my swag rolled out, set up, and then roll into it sometime late tonight. The issue is the rocker box is packed in all behind this crap. Here it is, right there at the back. Anyway, got to get to moving. So after all that, I pulled out a shovel, the pelican pick, the paling bucket, a pan, a classifier, and the mighty rocker box. Alright, let's get it down to where I'm digging. Okay, I got everything up here. That was a bit of a walk. Okay, so today I actually want to test something. So I've taken the mats out of my thing. They're sitting down there somewhere. And I actually want to see if they work better without the mats than they do with the miner's moss. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to do probably 10 shovels or 10 hoppers for each and just see what the capture rate is. Given it's the same dirt, it should be roughly the same. Well, that's the theory anyway. So I'm gonna time lapse me setting this rocker box up, and then I'm gonna time lapse me digging the dirt and, you know, going ham. Right there behind me is where we're digging, where the buckets are. So yeah, gotta get that glitter. Okay, so I've just done 5 hoppers. I know I said I was going to do 10, but 10 doesn't seem like a good challenge. 5 and I'm stuffed already. That shows how unfit I am. So I'm going to take out the top mat and test what's in there. And then I'm going to put in the other top mat and yeah, we'll run it again, another 5 hoppers. To give you an idea, one of those hoppers is roughly around 10 litres of material. quick run. But over time, that will add up. And it's some nice chunky stuff too. Like, I know it might seem small on camera, but it's actually got quite some shape to it. I'll zoom in for you and give you a good look. So as you can see, I've got my blue mat in now. Let's chuck him in the rocker box and get this cradle rocking. All 5 hoppers anyway. Well, I think it is. Don't shoot me in the comments if it isn't. It's not easy work. So before I get started, I just want to point out there's a couple of variables that are a little bit out of my control. The first batch was mainly moving overburden. The second batch was a bit under it. So there's the first variable. The second variable is I noticed that there is less material being caught. That could be because there's more of a lip. And the second of all is I may have stuffed up with the amount of buckets I actually counted. And there was a lot more clay in that material too, so this isn't a true test. This is just to see what I feel like I should be doing instead of whether I should be using the mat or whether I should just throw it to the curb. And the other thing I'd like to point out is this method takes a lot longer too. Which probably isn't a bad thing. Better piece, but not as many. Now I don't know whether that's because there is a lesser lip there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to make of it, but that's a nice little chunky piece of gold right there. Okay guys, that's from me, your favorite ginger prospector, Yosemite Span. Alright guys, so don't forget to get out there, get that glitter, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Also, if you want to tune in to see what we actually did end up getting from this whole trip, it'd be a good idea to jump on TikTok or YouTube, whichever I decide for the day, and check out my live streams. My live streams include us cleaning this into a really nice clean gold. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.
Like and subscribe. Hash gotta get that glitter.